The rabbit grumbled a bit before he opened his eyes, the sweet call of his wife anticipating the sleep depart.
Orstina?
Drowsiness coating his voice.
Wait a minute. Orstensia!
He bolted upright, the covers flying in sudden shock. How? She was dead. He was there. His hands had been drenched in her blood, tears, and that sickly ink.
What kind of sick joke was this?
A soft hand touched his cheek, making him look in that direction. She stared in his eyes, filled with loving concern.
Ozzy? Are you all right? You look like you've seen a ghost.
He could hardly speak. She was there, alive right in front of him. Was it all just one bad dream? He couldn't help himself. He pulled her tight against him, tears flowing down his furred cheeks. He wanted to take everything in, her smell, her warmth, her soft fur. He would never let anything happen to her again.
Oswald, are you sure you're all right?
She only ever used his birth name when she was worried or crossed.
Yeah, just had bad dreams.
He pulled back, wiping his tears with a soft laugh. She gently wiped the tears that stained his fur as he lovingly kissed her small, gentle, perfect hand.
Did you want to talk about it?
He kissed her lips, soft and slow, cherishing the moment.
I'm okay now that you're here. Besides, we've got a show to do.
The crowd cheered, the adrenaline rushing through his veins. Man, was he excited for today's act. He held out his hand to Orstina, glittering in her pink assistant uniform.
Well, it's almost up. Ready to make some magic and dreams come true, Orstensia?
With a soft purr, she reached out and held his hand, giving it a gentle squeeze, smiling warmly.
Always.
With a final kiss and a tremendous magical entrance, they smiled and waved, the cheers of the crowd raising their spirits. Oswald looked around. It felt like it had been years since he had felt this much excitement, this much joy. Everything was all right. He was living the dream. He turned to his wife, but for some reason she wasn't there. Everything suddenly felt cold.
What?
He frantically looked around. What happened to the crowd? The
Orstensia!
lights, Orstina? Everything was gone, and he was left alone in the dark. His heart beat frantically as he ran, his legs taking him anywhere and nowhere.
Orstensia!
The sound of a spotlight turning on startled him. He turned slowly around, fearing what he might find. She laid there in the light, still, lifeless, her back facing him. Without hesitation, he ran towards her, tears welling up in his eyes. He carefully lifted her light body, turning her face towards him. His hands shook, eyes wide in disbelief.
Ozzy, please, help me. It hurts. It hurts.
Her soft voice barely a whisper croaked, the words choking as the ink. Her once beautiful eyes had now been ripped of color, blinded by the ink ravaging every inch of her midnight fur.
How? How?
She seized up in his arms, the pain more intense than ever, her screams filling his ears. Why?
This wasn't supposed to happen!
What
What
about
about
their
all
hopes,
our
their dreams?
dreams?
Her tears mixed with the ink, her screams of anguish bleeding out in awful chorus. He held her tightly, his own screams joining in.
No! No! Orstensia!
He woke up with a start, the sheets crumpling under him. His tired eyes surveyed the empty room, cold and dull. His hand, fur rough and unkempt, rubbed his once again emotionless face. It was just a dream. Stupid. The door cracked open, and brightly, but quietly hopped in one of his most many beautiful children. They crept close to the bed, their large eyes filled with youth, staring up at his withered eyes. He stared blankly, the fright from earlier long since gone. He reached down and lifted the child up, a quick hug, stiff but filled with pained love.
Papa, Uncle Goofy and I want to know if you'd like to come with us to go shopping.
He nodded solemnly. The words mocked his mind as he walked out of the room with his child.
Excuse